So the art warehouse in LA near Long Beach was fantastic. It was probably smaller square foot wise than Hyatt's, but it had things that I've never seen before, or at least like, for the easel section, it was just vast, the amount of selection. And even light boxes, light boxes were all on the wall, and it was just amazing. You'll see in the video. So I was just kind of blown away by that. And I managed to get things that I hadn't seen before, or things I knew of that, like, all right, well, let's just get right down to it. I have got these before through Jackson's. I only bought them. They were kind of like, in Target when there's all this stuff before you get to the cash and you start, adding more into your cart. These were up by the cash, so I threw those in. It was actually my husband's suggestion, and I thought actually I would give those away to my friend whose daughter I tutored last summer, and she wants to do that again, so I thought she would kind of get a kick out of those. So that's going to go to her, as well as some of these novelty erasers. I mostly bought those for other people. So they had this little owl, a little bus, more sushi, more sushi, more sushi, even more sushi, another owl, and a traffic light for some reason. So they're all kind of cute. I'll put those aside for now. Thing I have been looking for, someone at work asked me to find one of these little spatulas for when you have works on paper. It's easier to slip a hinge off an item. It's easier to move paper, because when I'm doing condition reporting, I want to have least intervention with the paper as possible. I don't want, I'll have clean hands, but you don't want to touch artwork too much, as little intervention as possible. So this will help with that. And I'm going to make sure that it stays with my stuff. He can borrow it. So I just threw this eraser in. I know I have a pile there. I bought some Daiso, this kneadable eraser, and I just thought it'd be nice to have a colored one so that I know not to use it. I'll probably not to use it with regular artwork. I think I'll be using this more with charcoal and things like that, just so I know not to use it and make another artwork all messy. Then the other thing I got were these Cretacolor Aqua Monolith, all woodless pencils. They are, as the name suggests, they are water soluble, made in Austria. I've got umber green light and tan light, and they're really quite nice. I'll swatch those out. Then I've been really liking these Tombow markers. They're water-based, so that you can, again, they're water soluble, so you can treat them almost like a wash. So I have 158 and 177. Then I thought this was, I wasn't really paying attention. Like I said, I was overwhelmed in this store, and I had my husband with me saying, "What's this? What's that?" And it was kind of distracting. So I thought I was getting one of these, and I thought, oh, they just rebranded the Albrecht Dürer watercolor markers, but they didn't. This is, I believe, relatively new, larger version of the Pitt markers, or Pitt Artist Pen Brush. This one has dual brush side and a nib end. And I got cinnamon color again to use for when I'm doing more figure drawing. Back to paper. I love the Stillman Burn sketchbooks. You'll see in my other videos that I use their, I will just get it. I use this size for my sketches around the city, things like that. I got this one. I don't normally like the portrait size, but I got this. It's in gray. I just thought it would be kind of different, change things up. And so this is the Dried Media Light Wash and Ink one, the Nova series. So that can easily fit in a purse. And then I was using the mixed media in the beta series, so I decided to get the alpha series. And this is white paper. It's 150, so it's a little bit not as thick paper as the beta that I had, but I thought it would, going back to your previous video, I didn't want to be so precious with the paper, so I thought I'd get maybe something that could still take watercolor, but you know, not be the cost of like watercolor sketchbook. So that's why I got that one. Then I've seen these about, and I do sometimes have trouble opening paint lids, especially the really tiny watercolor ones. Sometimes they can be difficult to open when they've been sitting for a long time. So I got that, just threw it in. I was going around and just looking at things, and I thought, I'll just get little things, you know, I won't invest into like a set or something or anything like that. I'll just get little things, and they'll be kind of a reminder of the visit, but also you know, functional, something that I should have got a long time ago. Then I also got this Faber-Castell, and it's about the same size as my little travel. I believe this is a Pentel one, but the brush is kind of going on this one. I've had to trim it a little bit, so I thought I probably need a backup one, and I got a thicker, it's not quite as thick as this one, but it's still pretty good. And this drives me nuts that it doesn't sit on the end, and I've nearly lost it so many times. And I want to have a cap on it just so that it doesn't flow all over my pen case. So it's much the same, you know, just it doesn't have as much give as the Pentel one, but then maybe it won't leak. That one does. Now, the true test, does it? Yes, it does. It clicks on, so I'll be much happier about that. That will be going in my travel pen case. So that's about it for the art warehouse. There's things that I would love to get, but we were flying, so you know, if we were driving, I probably would have got some of the bigger things of paper and other things, but you know, I have a lot. I shouldn't be buying any more. I got things that I know I'll use, and you know, little things that I can give away too. But that was almost worth the trip alone, because I haven't seen one of these spatulas before. We get the archival quality brand here by Line Co. But I haven't seen, except through special orders, the spatula. So I was kind of happy about that. So that's one thing for work from the art supply warehouse, and another thing at Daiso for work. So I was thinking about work while I was away. And that's all that I can say for that one. But there'll be 2 more coming up. Now to swatch out what I did buy at the art supply warehouse. Starting with these Cretacolor Aqua Monolith. I'll do a nice generous swatch of that. I'm just varying the pressure I put on it. And then adding water. Makes it look a little bit different again. And I'll put these up when they're dry as well. And so here's the 10 light. It'd be a little bit difficult to see. I'll have to really come on it. Again, add whoops, that's not clean. Little bit of water. And then the Tombow 158 is a really gorgeous green. I love this. I was using it while I was away, and I just love this color. And again, these are water soluble too, so you can treat them kind of like a wash. And bear in mind, this paper is cartridge paper, so it's not really meant for water. And here's is the 177, kind of a darker version of that. I won't wash that one out. And they do have, they're double ended, so there's the tip. So there's that. And then the one that I thought was a watercolor isn't. But again, it's double-ended, brush on one side, nib on the other. I think that will work for some skin tones as well. So that's the art supply warehouse. And then we'll be going to an independent, another independent. I did not go to Blix on this trip. I deliberately went to independent art supply stores, except for Daiso, which isn't really an art supply store. But up next will be Blue Rooster. And there are 2 locations, one in Pasadena and one on Hollywood Boulevard. So stay tuned for that, and follow me on Instagram at Eileen Riley Arts, and you'll see some of these things put into action. Thanks so much. Bye.